I'm Abolfazl. Let's get right to it. Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Unitips. I'm in the library today, and the one thing on everybody's mind right now is studying. But how do you study? What's the best way to study? So that's what we're going to discuss. The first thing to mention is that there are 4 types of learners. There are reading and writing learners, there are visual learners, there are kinetic learners, and there are auditory learners. So you have to find the best style that suits you. I can't make a video just saying this one perfect way of studying which will help you pass all your exams, because all of you are different, everybody is different, so you have to find the style that matches you. These are just guidances, so some styles might match you, some styles might not. So just experiment and find out what helps you study. So I personally am a reading and writing learner, so I will learn a lot by reading books, and a lot of these you understand what style you are over a course of time, but there are also some clues as to what style you might be if you haven't got that far in your studies to develop it yet. So for me, what helps is to read over the books a lot. I see that helps me absorb a lot of the information if I'm reading text off a page. If someone's just telling me it, then I won't understand it, but if I'm reading off a page, or if there are notes that I can read off, then that will help me understand it a lot better. Another type of learner are visual learners. Now these are people who are helped by seeing an image, seeing a diagram. So if this is your type of learning, try draw. If there aren't any images already, try make images. So when the lecturer is explaining to you, draw out, say, a mind map, something that you can picture in your mind later when you want to recall this information. Try and have these images available, make flowcharts, try and make diagrams like that. And the way you can tell if you might be a visual learner is depending on, say, you might really enjoy colouring in, or you've just experienced that when you see something, you learn it, you need to visualize it before you can truly understand it. You may be really good at art. A lot of artists are visual because it's a lot to do with how you see things. That might be a good tip for if you're a visual learner. Try draw diagrams, try draw flowcharts, try draw mind maps, something that you can visualize. The next type of learner is auditory learners. These are people who understand the best when they're told something or when they're saying something. So going to a class or lecture might be really useful for you, but writing down the notes, not so much. So the way for you to take notes would be to record the lecture so that you can play it back and listen to the lecturer talking, so that you can understand what he's saying again. Or if you want to make it more concise and make it your notes, you can make recordings of yourself saying something. So for example, the lecturer talks like for 20 minutes on a topic. If you can listen to that 20 minutes, understand it, then repeat it in, say, 5 minutes, a lot more concisely, record that, and that will be your notes, so you can listen back to that 5 minutes. It won't take too much of your time, and it should be able to jog your memory properly. The indications that you might be an auditory learner are if you prefer when you listen to things, when someone tells you directions, you can easily understand it, as opposed to needing them to draw it out on a diagram or write down the directions for you. You might not really enjoy reading and writing, and that's a big clue that you're a auditory learner. Now the 4th type of learner is if you're a kinetic or kinesthetic learner. You are people who like to actively do something, like to do it practically to learn. So kinesthetic, I really enjoy as well. It's really fun and it's helpful. And so if you are a kinesthetic learner, try do something practical. Like when you're studying, try have breaks and go out and do something. Just keep yourself moving, keep yourself active, because if you stay in one place for too long, you're going to get really tired and your brain's going to switch off. So keep yourself active, keep yourself doing something. Maybe rewrite stuff so that your body's constantly moving, rewrite the notes. Or another tactic could be that while you're studying, do something as well. So say you're walking and studying. Like a lot of people like to pace and study and pace and recite what they're doing. And a clue that you might be a kinesthetic learner is if you do naturally just fidget around, if you're a very active person, if you prefer hands-on, so when the teacher gives you an activity where you can get involved, you prefer doing that, so you prefer to learn by experience, by doing something, and that helps it sink in. So this was just a really quick overview of the different types of learner and some study tips on how it could help you and how you could start studying more efficiently if you find out which categories help you the most. You're not going to just be one of these types. You're not going to perfectly fit into visual, perfectly fit into kinesthetic. But if you can find a combination of things that works really well for you, then you can use that to work really efficiently and manage your time a lot better and work productively, so that when it does come to the exam, you know you've done the work that helps you and you'll get the marks. So instead of someone who's kinesthetic and auditory writing out tons and tons and tons of notes, which is just going to waste your time, and in the end you're not going to have learned that much. Hopefully this will help you work more productively. I hope this was helpful, and if you enjoyed and think anybody else could use these tips, make sure to share and subscribe. I know you want to be me, but I'm signing out.